It's time for the Raleigh Road Show.
It's time for the Raleigh Road Show.
We're back with the Raleigh Road Show. This is season 2, and we're starting off with the bang here. We've got the Will McBride Group. Mr. Will here, he contacted me, and I'm like, you know what? Somebody who's going to come and put the time and tell me, hey, we got some stuff you need to listen to. We're going to come out and check them out. So I really appreciate you doing that, and you know, we wanted to get some original music on the show, and you guys are getting ready to get some tonight. So I guess I want to ask first, beginning of the band, how did this all happen? Of course, Will McBride Group, but you know, let's get the story, the whole story of the group, and we'll start with Mr. Will here. He can give us the beginning and what's going on now.
That's right. Well, back in 2003, I guess it was, I was doing this duo thing with this female vocalist doing the jazz thing, and then I got contacted by a guy who wanted to do a wedding band thing, so I joined them. And you know how bands are; they have big aspirations, things fall apart, whatever. Anyway, so the female vocalist in that band left, and she was a keyboard player. She just kind of dropped off the planet. And so the drummer was like, we got to get somebody else. We got to get somebody else. Let's put an ad in the paper. We'll get a female keyboard player that can sing. So I put an ad in the paper, and Jeff answered. So confusing. So he says, I'm neither female nor a keyboard player, but if you want a good bass player, call me. So I was like, well, I got to, you know, if he's brazen enough to do that, then I got to call him. And I haven't been able to get rid of him since, you know. So we did a record, he and I and about 6 or 7 other studio guys, and that was kind of the first impetus of it. And we did that. The record's called As Yet. It's got some of the tunes that we do in the band. And then we decided to start the band, and that's how it started. Did I do that right?
Yeah, very well, yeah.
I'm waiting for him to just play keyboards.
Yeah. Well, introduce yourself. We know Will McBride, but introduce yourself. Tell us what you play, where you're from, all that good stuff.
Sure, I'm the phantom female keyboard player and bassist, actually.
Hold the mic up closer so everybody can hear you.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, I'm Jeff Hatley. I'm originally from Charlotte. Grew up there and transferred into the area business-wise. I don't know, it was 1998, something like that. So, yeah, I had a lot of success playing in wedding groups back at that time. So when I saw the ad, let's just see what's going on there. So, yeah, Will and I had a lot of similarities, music-wise and just lifetime-wise.
But I'm not female.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we kind of hit it off, and yeah, I've seen a lot of good times come and go in the formation of the band, and it's been quite the ride. So yeah, looking forward to the future.
Awesome. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Charlie Rorick. I'm the new drummer.
Well, tell us your background though. What have you done? What's going on for you before?
Grew up in Burlington and played a lot of classic rock and country, and so this is one of the going into a traditional jazz and fusion and pop jazz genres. That's a little bit newer to me, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
Awesome. Well, and that's where we start next. We can talk about influences that all you guys have. You know, that's always fun to hear, because a lot of the viewers out there, they think, well, you know, you put a band into a certain genre, but if you really listen, you can hear little bits and pieces of influences from lots of different places. So we'll let Will start with that one.
Well, my influences are all over the place. I mean, everything from Jimi Hendrix to Wes Montgomery to Richie Blackmore to golly, lots of them. But they're Mark Knopfler, Lee Rittenauer, all guitar players, obviously.
Right.
But you know, and then great songwriters. I mean, you know, Jim Croce comes to mind, and even Jason Mraz recently. You know, great songwriters as well. They all influenced me. So those have kind of influenced me from the beginning to now. And I've gone through also people that have influenced me are people I've played with. You know, over the years. I got introduced to jazz, which is kind of a lot of influence now. Back in the mid '80s, I guess, when I ended up playing, I got hired on a gig with one of the sax players for James Brown.
Wow.
The older guy, his name is St. Clair Pinckney. He's passed away about 8 or 9 years ago now, but he hired me to go do a mini tour down through the Southeast, and I learned a lot from him as far as phrasing and how to improvise and that sort of thing from the saxophone perspective, which taught me some writing skills later on to incorporating sax. And then he had this dynamite keyboard player. His name was Wallace Hartsfield. I have lost track of him. I can't find him anymore. So Wallace, if you see this, find me. But you know, he kind of taught me a lot about, you know, again, more jazz phrasing and stuff. And so I've used that, and then going back to the rock roots of, you know, the improvisation of Jimmy Page and, like I said, Richard Blackmore and those guys. Steely Dan's a big influence, that jazz fusion kind of thing. So that whole melting pot's kind of what's driven me.
Well, what about any shout-outs to when you first picked up a guitar, someone who you just thought you had either, it can be a famous person, could be a teacher, someone that influenced you to be the guitar player or singer that you are today? Is there someone you'd like to give that out to?
Absolutely. Yeah, his name is Randy Snyder. He's my best friend from high school, and I used to listen to records a lot in my car and that sort of thing, and I was always doing the air guitar thing, and we'd go hang out and party and all that stuff, and so I ended up lending him some money to buy a car, and he paid me back not with the money, but he's a wheeler dealer guy, one of those guys that can, you know, we can get deals and that sort of thing. So he brought me a guitar one day. He said, "You want this more than the money?" And I was like, "No, I don't, buddy. You were absolutely wrong." I was really mad. And so it sat in the corner for about a week.
Yeah.
And finally I picked it up, and oh man, that was it. That was it. I knew right then. I was like, this is bad. I'm hooked on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll start the Raleigh Road Show here out checking out the Will McBride Group, and we're with one of the local owners of the venue here that Will McBride's playing at, and just wanted to talk to you about, you know, Will McBride's a great group. What do they bring to you as an owner, and what does that do for your place here?
Well, Will McBride Group is a great local band, and when I say local, it's like I love having local groups here at Abbey Road, and I strive on getting local talent here all the time, just so everyone can check it out, you know, and without having to go to a large venue or a large box place, and you know, it's we have a good time and great local talent, really.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you guys have listened to some of the tunes they played on there. They're a very talented group, and we talked about this on the interview. Being a trio, you have to really bring something, but you want a band that gets the ladies out and gets them out on the dance floor, because of course the guys will follow. So I know you know what I'm talking about when I say that.
Absolutely. I mean, they just covered a Dire Straits tune that was just outstanding. I mean, Will McBride just did Mark Knopfler like it was, I mean, close your eyes and it felt like Mark Knopfler was here. You know, it was just, they're outstanding. They really are.
And it's nice, again, to have our local musicians out in our venues. And that's something that the Raleigh Road Show is about, because I go out and about, and some nights are hit and miss, but you know, when you have a really talented group out, and hopefully with the Raleigh Road Show we'll be able to promote these guys, and you guys will bring them back here too as well.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Will McBride brings a ton of people, and they have a great following, and they've been around for years and years and years, and you know, and the talent that they have is just stellar. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I know that Raleigh Road Show appreciates you coming on and helping to support our local music scene, and everybody thanks you for for having them here. So again, and watch us on RTN 10. This is Randy with Raleigh Road Show. Tell us all, you know, the drummer is always in the back, but sometimes you can be in the front too. You know, you wait for those moments to do that. So
Of course, I guess everybody wanted to play like John Bonham. That was an influence starting out, and Jerry Edmonton from Steppenwolf. Those kind of more aggressive styles. And then later on, it was about anybody that Steely Dan ever used on any of their recordings, particularly Jeff Porcaro and Bernard Purdy. Those were a couple of my big favorites.
well, we'll roll into the comment made earlier, famous trios, because as everyone knows, a trio, you have to be a step above musician, because if you miss a note or you're not on time or something, everybody sees, everybody hears it and everybody sees it, and you're right out there. So most of the famous trios are fantastic musicians, writers, everything, because you're cut to three. You know, a lot of bands are 4, 5, 6, even more and more. So when you're a trio, you have to be that much better than the next guy. So, and going back to talking about most of the great trios have a great bass player. I mean, fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you know, you talk about some of the great trios. I mean, I'll even go into metal, Motorhead, Lemmy's. You know, he plays the bass with a pick, like a guitar. You know, so you know, the Police and Sting, great bass player. Rush, which is where I was headed to. Absolutely, Geddy Lee, one of the probably fantastic bass players in our generations that have been and even still playing now. But you know, the famous trios, Primus, you know, Les Claypool, which is can get a little off off the kilter, but still fantastic bass player. I think he try out for Metallica when they lost their bass, when the guy that was killed in the bus accident died. I think he tried out, and they were like, yeah, you're great, but it's not quite what we're looking for. So, but I'm going to let you, Will, talk about famous trios and some that have influenced you in rock, jazz, all those types of things.
Well, I mean, I mentioned earlier Jimi Hendrix. That's one of the first rock influences of guitar, and you know, Noel Redding played the bass, and the guy who played the drums was wonderful too, but I can't call his name right now. It's terrible. But you know, Rush also. Alex Lyson's big influence for me as well, and you know, ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons his style just, you know, it's just got that nice blues groove.
Just to step in, these guys are going to be opening for ZZ Top, so you know, unfortunately this program's not going to air before you guys get on, but let's just put that out there. These guys are opening for them, which is going to be fantastic. I would love to be. So.
Yeah, so I mean those trios. I think of Led Zeppelin as a trio. You know, anybody who has a lead vocalist out front, you really do have 3 instruments back there. You know, they still got to cover all that stuff, and you know, that sort of thing is also a trio with a front cover guy. So you know, they're also the same. All those are influences. I mean, there are many more that I probably don't even know about. You know, I don't know how they influenced me, but they did.
And although they're not technically a trio, but the Bee Gees, I mean, before they did Saturday Night Fever, which is something that people don't want to say that they enjoy. It's sort of one of those things. They're like, oh, Saturday Night Fever.
They're always tapping their feet.
Of course, but fantastic. The harmonies the Bee Gees did will never be. Those guys were fantastic with that, but we'll go ahead and let you put your 2 cents in on the trios.
I'll just come at it from a kind of how it is in this band perspective. It's really it requires a whole lot of listening skills to be able to understand where the lead is playing, where he's going, to complement, stay out of the way sometimes, but other times provide a lot of full foundation support. Charlie and I spend a lot of time working together as far as putting the right groove out there, so it gives Will the canvas to paint on, to play on. So it really requires keen listening skills, and as Will and I, and over the past, as we've auditioned drummers, that's been very high on our list. You know, does the guy listen? Can he pick up on what's going on and add the right thing at the right time? So it's worked well for us.
Oh, and Cream, we forgot to mention Cream.
Yeah, we
as
did.
far
Cream, we
as,
did.
influential.
Yes, we did forget that.
Got to put a shout out to Ginger Baker.
Hey, that's, you know, there's a lot of bands, like I said, if they could be a trio, they would, but, you know, a lot of times bands have to want to fill in or make a bigger sound. But the thing about a lot of the fantastic, great trios, if you walk in the door and you hear them, it sounds like there's 20 people playing in the band. And that's what you want people to think. I mean, I've seen some fantastic trios that sound better than, you know, 8-piece bands that I've heard, and, you know, and vice versa. I mean, Rush is one of the premier ones that you hear and talk about, and they're one of my favorite trios. You know, it's just, you know, Alex, Getty, and of course Neil Peart back on the drums. So, you know, just the influence that those guys had was fantastic. And we also like to talk about sacrifices that go on for you guys. I know being a trio, it makes it that much more important that each and every one of you are there at the gig every time. So, you know, that's a recurring theme on the show. We have sacrifices that you make, friends, family. You know, you're here, you know, to do the show. You know, sometimes you have to miss family things, you have to miss friends things, and we'd like to we give you all an open floor here to tell the people that mean something to you how much it means for you, for them to let you come out and do what you do each week.
I mean, my wife I've been married for over 30 years, and she knows that, you know, there are lots of sacrifices. She knows more of them than I do because she makes most of them, you know. But every time I go to rehearsal or it's my, you know, play the gig, I need to buy an extra piece of equipment. You know, I need another guitar. I always need another guitar. Just thought I'd throw that in. Yeah, my need for toys, you know. You know, those are all sacrifices that she makes, and then, you know, as we start to play the bigger gigs and stuff, you know, she photographs and does some of the documentation of the stuff so that we can, you know, use it in turn for promotion and that sort of thing. So all those are sacrifices she makes. So, you know, my hat's off to her. She's, you know, I'll say a corny phrase, but she's the wind beneath my wings.
And we'll let you guys talk about that too. You know, and it's almost like a double-edged sword, though. I mean, you guys enjoy doing this, or you wouldn't be up here doing this, as well as, you know. But the sacrifice part of it is you just want to have your family know that you appreciate what they let you do. I mean, you know, it is a big sacrifice, and I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The family gets involved for sure, and of course supporting us through our opportunities. And each one of my sons has learned how to run a PA system, roadie, yeah, kind of forced labor, and each one of them has been through this. Yeah. But, you know, we've been together long enough that Will has seen all of them grow up and been a part of this. And so it's been a good experience for them. Of course, my wife, Shane, you know, as Will spoke of, the same. You got to love a lady who buys you gear. So sometimes I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know how to take that. She's trying to get rid of me or what. I don't know. Anyhow, she's always been very supportive of me. Love you, dear. Thank you very much.
Causing a westbound pain.
was up, knew I was in, I'll touch it down. But that's just how the journey begins. Still gotta drive to that part of town. 90 minutes to nowhere, miles of nothing between the power poles. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I just wanna get back home. Catfish pond, goodbyes, yard statues on the side of the road. We in the state of some rusted out mud. Around here, time goes so slow. 9 minutes to nowhere, miles of nothing between the power poles. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I just wanna get back home. Thank you so much. That's on
Hey,
our...
Road Show fans, it's Wendy with the Raleigh Road Show. Thank you for joining us for our second season. We're hanging out tonight with the Will McBride Band, and I'm hanging out with two lovely ladies here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. What's your name and where are you from?
Linda. I'm here from Cary.
Awesome. Originally?
No, Brooklyn, New York.
All right.
Hey.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Deb Smith, and I'm from Cary, originally from Nebraska, Cornhuskers.
Have you seen the band before?
Yes, I have. I've known Jeff Hatley for about 5 years.
What do you think about the band?
I love them.
Obviously. What about you?
They're really good. They're really good. I'm enjoying them. We're having a really good time here tonight. I think more people should be out here.
I agree. What are some of your favorite songs they sing?
Brown-eyed girl.
Brown-eyed girl.
You like Brown Eyed Girl?
I did. I like Brown-eyed girl, and I just had a really, really, great dance to. Oh my God, I forgot the song, but whatever.
Didn't you say they were singing Brown Eyed Girl for you, just for you?
Yeah, they did. It was just for me. I don't care who wrote it. They sang it for me.
Well, I appreciate you girls coming out tonight, and I'm sure the band appreciates you and all the support. Join us on Facebook.com, or you can watch the show on RTN 10. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Wendy.
Have a good time.
You too.
Behave yourself.
Oh, man, that ruined all the fun.
No, don't really.
Bye.
The Styx experience was just unbelievable. Big stage, big sound, big lights. Everything was big, big, big. But I think the thing that blew me away the most, and Will touched on this, was how gracious those guys were, and the staff, and everybody was just so accommodating to us. they never made us feel like we were in the way, you know. So I think that they understood, you know, they were where we are.
Tell them what the guitar tech did.
Oh, yeah, I was going there, actually. Yeah, the guitar tech said, you know, hey, you guys come over here. So he invited us into his lair and just a whole wall full of guitars. And he told us the story of each one of these instruments. And, you know, we grabbed this one if the stage catches fire and we run. The others are okay. So anyhow, we got a really great personal treatment from those folks. And it's great to see that someone who reaches that stature, a group, can be so accommodating and gracious.
And you have ZZ Top to look forward to.
Yeah,
So what do you think about that? Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I think back in the day, Styx, I believe they used to just bring in the whole drum set on a forklift. I believe it was like already set up, and they just on the stage. I believe I witnessed that a time or two. So that was a pretty fast setup for them. Yeah, ZZ Top, looking forward to that, and the Greg Allman Festival down there as well.
Well, I want to take this moment to thank the Will McBride Group for inviting us to come out and interview you guys. And you know, I've heard some of your stuff, and I think we're all in for a treat. This is going to be the first time we're able to put actually live music here for the Raleigh Road Show.
Oh, really?
Viewers that we haven't had to edit or voiceover. So this is going to be a treat for all of us.
No overdubs.
No.
No safety net.
But again, we ask that everyone watching go out and support our local music scene. Come out, support our local bands and musicians. Watch the Raleigh Road Show, and together we can help keep our local bands and musicians show on the road. Thanks a lot.